we kind of knew that we wanted to play this, you know, when we heard about it, but then we realized, oh, it was out, and we hadn't really heard anything about it or whatever. And then we turned it on, and like the very first scene is like a king and his army. It's like, okay, generic fantasy stuff, and they're in robots, and you're like, okay, so I thought it was going to be like an FF6 opening thing where we had the robots and then those weren't going to come back, but it was just a reference. So
right.
It's like, oh, so it's like generic stuff, reference to FF6, okay.
Yep.
Yada yada. And then it was like, it went from that explicitly into slow opening town, you know, with generic guy, girl, and hungry dude.
Yes, that's right. Locke was so hungry.
Yeah, when Locke wasn't a robot, he was an annoying, hungry child. An annoying, hungry orphan, more specifically.
Our party of orphans. That was the most charming part of all of this, was that we had a common thorough line through all of the characters as they came into the party. Was these are all characters who've been orphaned from something.
Right, and there was even
their identity has now been thrown into shambles because of...
There was even this ongoing thing where, like, we might have guests or whatever, but you had to become an orphan if you wanted to become a permanent playable character in Lost Sphear.
You had to take the orphan oath.
Yeah, you had
and
to, like,
lose
be initiated.
The things that you love.
You had to, if you were not an orphan, you had to be initiated into orphanhood, literally. You know?
Yeah. Yep. You got parents still? I don't know. I'll keep your application and we'll call you if we need anything. Eon memories. Oh, we're on the moon now. Hello, moon. So,
are we on the moon?
I think we're on the moon. It's
What?
got craters. Like, there's craters here.
We can't be on the moon.
Can't we?
There was, like, no transition. There was no cutscene. There was nothing.
Those fuckers are all dead. But yeah, so, where are we at now then on this game? Or do we still feel the same about? Were we justified in just dismissing it off the bat?
I think the thing is that Lost Sphear is the kind of game that if I'd like, you know, somebody lent it to me because I saw it in their collection and they hadn't been playing it, and I was like, oh, I wanted to play that, and they're like, well, I'm not playing it, you can go ahead and borrow it, you know.
Right.
I would have been done with this game in about 30 or 45 minutes. And the thing is that I gotta say, based on the rest of what we played, I would have done the same thing.
Oh, yeah. No,
this
didn't get good, but why are we still playing it, though?
Because we're Let's Playing it. I mean...
Is that it?
I don't want to be that cynical, but at the same time, I also am going, like, I wanted to Let's Play it to see if there wasn't something that betrayed our initial perception of it, but it's had its ups, but then it just kept going back down every single time. You know?
I don't think so. I don't think this last little bit has been all down.
No. Okay, to be fair, we had the Galdra reveal, which was like a big, like, what the fuck? Like, we've been calling this for hours. This is bullshit, you know, and it's uninspired and meaningless and stupid, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then it was just like... So, yeah, basically after that, the game has been improving, but...
Yeah, I think it's really after that point is the turning point for a lot of reasons. Oh, I can't break these rocks, of course not. Ooh, where's your backside?
This is so weird.
There we go. Yeah, right? Just craters. But, what, like, we've gotten used to a lot of the stuff, but has it also, like... I Am Setsuna got better as it went on, as we learned what it was asking from us.
Yes, that was the other. That was one thing. Is that with I Am Setsuna, it was like there was like a first 3 hours or something that were like it had some stuff going on, and had some other stuff that was annoying me, and then it was like once we actually went through with it, it was like this game really delivered at the end of the day. But it also had more going on in the first place, and I guess with this game, it was like I was kind of waiting for it to hit even like Setsuna levels of cleverness into, you know, like something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because with Setsuna, it's like there was something on the surface, but then there was other stuff that was like, this isn't inspired, but, you know.
There's something uninspired about this game, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the thing, is ultimately this game feels very uninspired. It doesn't... Setsuna had, like, original ideas that they wanted to do, but it's like the one person who designed that game got to make their dream game, and then now they got...
What is inspired about this game, though? Because there's a couple things in here that I think are genuinely interesting.
You go first.
There's the biggest thing that I see in this game is that they have at least enough consistency in the plot to come on, coming through. They have enough consistency in the plot to carry through with any kinds of themes, any kinds of like character arcs and directions that they want to go with our 8 main characters. They introduced all 8 main characters and gave them all at least something to do for the back 9. After they have their moment of like introducing their character, a single character arc, then for these last couple chapters, Deonto, Obaro, everyone's kind of had stake in the plot. Mostly because they've all been orphaned in some way from the world itself. And I think that that's important. I think they did a really good job with it. Oh, sweet. Sweet, give me that thing. Was that for the girl?
Damn it.
Damn, it is real good. But Z Sword 6, still also great.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there's that part of it. There's also the part where things getting lost. We have had a lot of fun in the Skeet Zone, my friends. We've lived in the Skeet Zone. It's been probably one of the main things that's gotten us through this game is our life inside the Skeet Zone. As our commenters have noted. Don't do it, or I'm Bob.
Oh, a bot battle, so that's why we use the... Yeah, there's this piece of music that only shows up for, like, battles with, like, a particular type of enemy.
Yeah.
And it's better than most of the music in the game.
Dun, dun, dun.
Felt like a fun, like, anime opening type battle.
Woohoo! 420, baby!
Nice!
That's my girl.
Blow it up.
Oh, I guess has 1 HP left. 421 HP!
Why do you keep getting that prompt?
I accidentally keep hitting A
Oh.
when there's technically no targets. I'm going to run back to where we were because I want to get Kanata's final ability. We have the memories now for...
The fire memories?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for shining?
For shining. So I want to get Kanata's final memory while we continue to reflect on what this game has done to us. What we have suffered through. I think there's some good parts to this. I think the themes of things being lost and using memories as like that things do not exist without memory. We talked about that very early in the Let's Play, but
I mean,
it's a cool gimmick.
I am being brutal to something that is in fact just kind of average and not like bad, you know?
Yes.
You know.
I think that gimmick works. It's just the some of the execution on the gimmick being that there's like 12 million currencies for everything. Kind of sucks. That sucks. That's not good.
Well, the thing is this is the big thing we've come around on is that there's like a lot of stuff here, but it doesn't feel iterated on from anything that it was pulled from, and I don't know like what's our original concept here, you know?
What is this all based on?
Okay, so like we've got the, you know, cooking, you know, upgrading your weapons.
Yep.
You know, and just aside from like the generic RPG stuff, I'm saying like what's the flavor mechanics in this game? And I'm like the flavor mechanics all are also at least variations on things that have been seen elsewhere. Or like, okay, so there's cooking and you kind of do it different than you do it in a Tales game, but it's ultimately the same thing. You gather ingredients, you eat food, you get temporary buffs.
Well, it's not that it's
right?
the same thing as other games. I think what you're feeling is that they're all consumative. They're things that you just use, and that's it. They don't evolve over time. They don't, like in The World Ends With You, when you eat, it's like food that digests over the course of the next like 15 battles. Like there's no, it's all just, you use it and it's done.
Or when you cook
get an
in
effect.
Final Fantasy 15, you know, like every time you rest out in the wilderness, you get like a tiny cutscene of your guys hanging out, and you might get like some kind of resting prompt or whatever. There's like other sorts of AAA high money, you know, like, you know, emergent system type stuff that goes along there. But,
There's
you know,
that, and I think the point that I'm getting to is that they're all, you use it and you get an effect.
yeah.
This is with the cooking, with the items, with the equipment, with the sprint nights, with just
the
everything.
memories on the world map.
With the memories on the world map, it's all, you use it, That's it. You're done.
Well, I mean, we could also here. This game is designed like a dungeon crawler, but it's a 90s RPG. You know, it's designed like a game that wants you to be crawling in dungeons most of the time. You know, because it has so many different things that affect battling, and pretty much only battling. What?
Unleash a concentrated stream of magic to damage all enemies with all magic types.
Aren't we? Isn't that just going to heal our end bosses that are?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Venom Hollow. Good weapon.
What's
good thing names.
what are some of these Shara ones that we don't or can't
Symphonia, Preserve, Resurrect. We're just missing reflection memories of some kind, but
I could have sworn we had those.
they reduce MP and VP consumption, and we've got one that deals
physical damage.
No
Momentum
magic.
charge. That's pretty good.
That one's a nice one, and Resurrect.
Well, because we were talking earlier about how she's only had the one attack for the entire game, like Illumina, that's not so good. You know.
Like Illumina, she's not even like Illumina. She's just not so good.
Well, she's a healer. That's fine.
Null type physical attack that hits all enemies. Allies' CT turns to 0 as this skill's CT. Okay.
The fuck does that even mean?
Nature protects all allies from attack. The ultimate evasion effect. Everyone is invisible. Yay! Okay, so they would just want you to break the game. The game's over.
Yeah, so this is like all of the late game stuff from Setsuna, except you don't have to go looking for it, which is sad in its own way.
Spirit Ray. Shots have greater effect range. 8 hit null type physical attack. 8 hit with increased critical range. Just
Nutty.
keeps going. Thank you, Narc Fark. Fucking every name in this game is garbage.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, yeah, let's go there. There's a character named Locke. He's not the protagonist. That's the name of another character who's the protagonist of another game that this game references multiple times.
That's literally
published by the same fucking company. That's
really
lazy.
Not a problem for anyone.
That's a problem.
It's not.
I'm gonna keep calling that a problem because it's a problem.
Hey, it's spoilers. It's not a problem. It's fine. You can name your main character Rush, even though Rush is already main character, because it's a good name.
No. I'm saying Locke isn't the
Locke,
main character.
Rush.
I keep calling the main character Locke.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, his name's Canada. We've been over this. And what's a good question for thinking about this game? What were some moments over the course of this Let's Play, over the course of this game, that just really disappointed you?
I mean, the number one is very obvious to me.
Maybe, yeah.
So actually, I'll try and not go for the number one immediately, because I mean, number one actually happened very, very recently.
It's still fresh in my brain.
Oh boy, that was pretty bad. You know...
Hell yes.
Okay, actually, the game... You know what? Actually, I do think this actually might be more important, because the Gouger moment, which we're going to come back to,
Yep.
that's what I was talking about. But
Yep.
actually, this is kind of worse. When Locke came back as a robot... Sorry, no, Locke? Yeah, Locke. Again. Because when Locke came back as a robot, we had completely forgotten that he even existed.
Okay, but I don't think that's what the game didn't want. The game wanted that. But not on purpose, not the way we did.
No, well,
the
no,
reason
no,
that we
the
forgot
game-
about Locke, and this was the only point in the game that surprised us, and that was actually going to be something that I was going to say that I was impressed with, but it wasn't on purpose. We were impressed with it because we hated Locke.
No,
We forgot about him on purpose.
No. Here's the deal. What the game wanted you to do was constantly be worried about your hungry little friend.
My hungry little buddy.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying, okay, just like they've other types of annoying. I'm not saying this trope is dysfunctional. I'm saying the way the game executed was dysfunctional. Basically, they want you to be constantly wondering about, I wonder when Locke's going to come back. I wonder when Locke's going to come back or whatever. And then it's supposed to be like a shocking turn as part of all this stuff that we learned about End the Empire. It's like, he's a robot now.
That was fun.
I'm pretty sure that was the Terrormite explosion.
I think so. Excuse me, coming through. Gotta punch a thing, and I gotta punch much better than your biggest attack in the game. Got him. Ta-da.
Was that shining?
That was shining. Oh, that's right. But Kanata, we haven't upgraded all of his shit. So that's why it wasn't that great. We'll get there.
Oh, you haven't put any, yeah.
But we can do shining.
Shining. You can use this once every battle.
Yeah. Bah! Wasn't it nice?
I like how it's actually just like basically just like the angels are like, oh, and then everything dies.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that disappointed me a lot in like retrospect because I was like, oh, that was supposed to be like a big emotional reveal that didn't land at all.
Nope.
You know?
No, it did not. I thought it did. Well, so you didn't think it landed. I thought it landed. There was a lot about that. We were on the Mirror Lake at the time when it happened. I think that was the best setup thing in the whole game, and it kind of felt like that was something they've wanted to do like from the initial outset of making the game.
Like they had that idea for that character moment?
Yeah. They were like, we got this character Locke, who's a kid that we think people will think is cute and fun. And, oh, it's a standing, like, tile puzzle, isn't it?
No, Locke walked across the void.
Oh, did he just walk across the void?
He actually
Fuck
just
yes.
walked across the void.
I wasn't sure if that was void or just a black space. Like, asphalt. Okay. It's probably saying something important about this trap. Yeah. They want me to get there in that many steps, huh? I see. Ding!
I mean, if they're gonna use that, I hope they use it again. I hope that was the tutorial of that puzzle.
That was probably the easy one.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this again.
Yeah, we're back at the moon kiln.
Oh yeah, we were here in a cutscene before. There's a lot of areas in Resonance. I know I keep bringing this up. There's a lot of areas in Resonance of Fate that look like this.
Cool.
There's a lot of like deep dungeons that kind of have like this like hanging, like
very metal
Mako factory thing. You know, where there's like a lot of like natural liquids around, but also
I love when you use other JRPGs to reference a third JRPG. This thing reminds me of Resonance Fate, you know, kind of just like the Mako reactors in Final Fantasy VII. It's just like this. Holy shit, Austin. You nerd. Hey, portals opened up to take us back. That's really weird, but thanks. Hey, Volco suits are back. We might use them. That was the most disappointing thing for me.
Does that say we just went to the moon, didn't we?
Was the Volco suits.
Oh, yeah, the Volco suits suck.
Yeah, we didn't go to the moon. We went to the lunar kiln.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which was underneath the palace.
That's okay. That makes more sense.
So we got our Volco suits back. We're stronger. We're more beautiful than we were before.
Right.
Statistically speaking. And the, yeah, we got our robots back. And so I don't know why. We don't need them, but we've got them. The robots were like 90%.
Locke is walking around with his guns out. In his hands.
Hell yeah, he is, because he's a fucking badass. Look at him go. He's like, yeah, I'm holding 2 squashes. One in each hand.
Walking around with my fucking
rubber ducky fists.
Super soaker.
Yeah, he's got those Splatoon guns he's using.
I'm not convinced by the turn. They're like trying to take the old character who was lame and convince me he's cool now, and I'm like, nope, I still see the lameness.
He's got guns! Guns! He could throw all our money away!
Let's put it this way.
He's so cool!
I'm not going to give the game credit for throwing me a bad character and then making him better as like a spot.
I do! I think it's fucking great! They knew! They purposely tried to make us not like him.
I don't buy it at all.
I think they did.
I ain't buying that for shit.
So, yeah, what have we learned about Tokyo RPG Factory from all this? Because that's really what we're here for, and I think that's the most valuable part about this Let's Play, is that we now have a very strong baseline of what Tokyo RPG Factory is about as a game company, as an artist. So what are some of the like consistent themes that we can now compare and contrast between this and the previous game, I Am Setsuna?
Well, I mean, we talking well, just, I mean, starting with the obvious, they obviously, they really like the Chrono Trigger battle system, and not just the Chrono Trigger battle system, but the way it presents, which is that you have, like, you know, a presentation, and then the enemies are already on the screen, you don't change screens or anything like that, it's completely one state, or one screen, or whatever the hell you want to call it, so it's continuous kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're really into that presentation. And they're also really into the parts of the Chrono Trigger battle system where, like, for example, Chrono will swing his sword round and round and hit 2 enemies instead of 1, even though it's a 1 enemy target type thing.
Right.
So they've implemented a lot of stuff for lines, areas of attack, things like that, and that's the most engaging stuff in the battle systems consistently.
That works. That is a system that genuinely works.
Yeah. So that's the number one thing, mechanically at least, that they've nailed across both of these games, is they iterated on the Chrono Trigger battle system in the first game, and they've largely just repeated what they did in the first game here.
Right.
And it's still just as functional. You know?
I like it. Yeah.
No, I think it's a very good battle system. Our main complaint for a lot of this...
We're back.
Our main complaint for a lot of this Let's Play has just been having so much cutscenes to not be in battles a lot. But, you know... It could be, I mean, the other side of it would honestly be much, much worse if the game was overpacked with battles that just felt completely redundant, so...
I agree. I think there's also a very consistent theme of persistence in this game and in I Am Setsuna. This one being, like, memory as this persistent force in the universe that makes things appear or disappear. There's also in I Am Setsuna, they had the darkness, which was just a thing that made things appear or disappear.
I was gonna say I could have sworn remembering a similar kind of like world map gating system / plot element in Setsuna, but I can't remember what it was. So I was hoping you...
Yeah. All right, Plana can be inside of Locke. Plana can just walkie-talkie to us through Locke.
Oh, through brains.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Cool. I've been ready for a long time. My equipment, my heart. So
let's all subtly turn.
One of the things that is the same between these games is that they are focusing on the boss battles.
Yeah.
So, what's a boss battle that you liked?
I mean, the boss battles have all had like things that I like. I'm struggling to like pick out one that was like super duper cool.
The wall.
The wall?
Remember we fought the door? We killed a door that was summoning enemies. That was a consistent boss fight.
I kind of remember this.
And then we killed the door and it opened up and it was like, all right, I'm dead. You can come through.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah, like we fought a variation of the demon door that was pretty cool.
Yep, that was a cool boss fight.
There was that one, I mean, even like the really bad boss fight was the status effect frog, which I mean, they tried to do a thing, okay? You know, I mean,
the status effect frog that puts us to sleep and then falls asleep itself.
I mean, I just watched that episode. That was like, that was a time sink, but you know, like whatever.
It wasn't mean. It was kind of, it was a gimmicky boss fight that followed through on its gimmick, and that was refreshing.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, this game's been pretty good about, not having like classic bad stuff. I mean, I could, it's a terrible phrase, but I mean, there's been, it's like I'm having a hard time picking a boss fight that was like super duper in the top of my head, but there's also not a single one of them I can remember where it was just like, what the fuck were we even supposed to be doing there? No.
Well, the ones that really got me were the Zemroad boss fights. The 3 of them. There were 3 of them. If you didn't...
Did you ever lose them?
If you didn't blink, you missed them. The first one. The first one was difficult.
Oh, okay.
Because it was him... It was the cool gimmick of him stabbing us right in the mana. And once he was done stabbing us in the mana, he would stab us in the HP.
Oh, was that the one I got stuck on for like an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which was almost a cool gimmick, except the last 2 boss fights of it, he didn't really follow through. He still had 2 different types of stabby stabs.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't make much of a difference. And it wasn't just because he was quick to kill. The real problem was he was the exact same as like 4 other boss fights, as in being a single target that's just a person running around poking people.
I think
that was
the
it.
biggest thing is
there were a
honestly,
lot of those
I mean,
boss fights, and they
mean,
felt a lot like the actual game fights.
Well, that's the thing is, honestly, it's like I like a lot of these boss fights because they're slightly harder versions of the regular fights, but like it's been a pretty level playing field, you know, in terms of all those combat experiences. And I do wish there were more bosses actually that were like throwing more stuff at us at one time, but I mean, our player characters are really good. Let's put it that way. Yeah. They've been very effective from the word go.
Yeah, I don't think we've needed to change party members if we didn't want to. Like, we added Shara, and Locke is only there because we got bored of looking at Van. Oh wow, these guys are almost already dead. What's the quickest? I mean,
you could just do Shining.
Yeah, Shining will kill them all and help give us some health back. Wonderful.
I didn't get the last one.
It untouchabled. Untouchabled. Beep.
Oh, okay.
It is untouchable for like 2 turns. Great. Oh wait, not 2 turns, 2 hits. It is untouchable for.
I guess the thing is with me, like, okay, so there was the battle system from Setsuna, you know, pretty consistent here. There was that idea of like, you know, bringing. They're very interested in like near apocalypse type situations. Okay. In comparison to the stuff that they're working from, in comparison to the stuff that their company has put out, a lot of the points of these games is to like have like a world that starts normal and then it gets to like an apocalyptic state. We get to the beginning of Lost Sphear and it's like the world is being consumed by the postmodern memory eradication, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and so like, and we always start in dire straits in these Tokyo RPG Factory games.
Yeah.
You know?
That is a similarity that I think is interesting and strange.
Well, if not, you
and
know
very
what,
unlike
actually,
RPGs, unlike most JRPGs.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is that actually JRPGs will kind of like hint at melancholy, and then it'll almost be like, oh, we're gonna give you more and more drama as it goes along. Whereas the Tokyo RPG Factories actually have a more heroic pace to them because you typically start with a bad thing, and then like by the end you've actually accomplished the goal that the game told you to do at the very beginning. Like the very last thing we did before we came to this dungeon was restore the last town on the world map, you know? More or less.
Yeah.
So, there's thematic consistency to those kind of systems.
Get him, kid. Yeah, seal him up. Look at this. We got this attack, like, right at the beginning of everything. Boom, 742. Nothing. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, we're unstoppable at this point. Feeling good about it. I had a thought. What about... So there's something that's different about this game that's not in the other one, and that's children.
I thought we were playing as children last one.
We were, but this is much more childish. Is this a game for children? Like, are we maybe just not the target audience for this game, and that is the problem?
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Games for children
or even better,
yeah.
Even better, do you think that this would be better if it was given to a kid as like their first JRPG, or like something that like, hey, my daughter is in the perfect age range to just be able to grasp the like heavy consequences of this kind of the themes of this game.
Yeah.
And they haven't really played many other JRPGs before.
Well, that's the thing is I'm thinking like, you know, I mean, a lot of kids get into like Pokemon, for example.
True.
I'm trying to remember how many like subsystems are in Pokemon or whatever, but as I remember it, it's pretty simple, you know, which is why people can get into it.
Yep.
And you know, you fight Pokemon if you want to catch them, you make sure to not kill them, and then throw a ball at them. And then I'm like, I'm trying to think, like, basically, I don't think this is necessarily mechanically complex for kids. Start that thought over. This is not mechanically too complex for kids because kids play RPGs. We already see that.
Okay.
That's but at the same time, I'm not sure what's hooking them beyond the mechanics that makes them want to learn a game that's complex rather than just play.
You could play
Minecraft.
other.
I don't know. Like I'm
You
not.
could
trying,
play many other games.
Yeah. I'm saying like what hooks them to this instead of many of the excellent games that children are playing today. Like let's be fair.
I always am.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of where my head's at right now too with it.